Yeah, this is. Sorry, I'm just getting the volume right. I'm getting it back up to 50. This is just, I do these for practice, but everything I film is done with uh, not intention, but just the knowledge that I might upload it just because it's not embarrassing. I don't mind. So I might say if something's a test. I'm doing things I wouldn't normally do. I wouldn't normally wear my hair like this. It's just to try things out. I've got to get used to being in front of the camera. Got to get used to the light. Got to get used to the volume. Just got to get used to everything. And I have said in a previous test video I haven't been filming regularly, but I need to get back into that. And just for myself, I've got my window completely closed off. And then this time I'm using the darker bandana over there, and that's better than the one I used yesterday. So I'm glad I made that change. But I do look tired. I know that. It's bright out. I had to go out, so I've had just more of light in my eyes. So I'm not on anything. I'm not on anything. That's why I look like this. So that's what that is. And then I'm just trying out that this is hair that I washed it last night. Went to bed because I had to get up today and just to see how it looks the next day on camera. I'm normally the type to just clip it all back, but I just want to see how it falls naturally. I mean, it's kind of lumpy on one side or the other. I don't have a clip nearby. It's gonna have to stay that way. That's okay. I'm just, again, just trying things out, getting used to this because it's very hard to just go from just the chat room and communicating that way to, bam, you got to have your face on camera and think about everything physical. And like, I've got too much headspace again. If I've got to, just got to, I'm still working things out. I apologize if the camera angle is not up to, up to snuff. Um, just, it's so awkward, the in between time where like, I know I'm going to be better at this, but right now I'm not. And something else I'm not, uh, I am rambling a little bit too much in this. See what it is? If I think about what I'm doing, then I start to get self-conscious. I start to get nervous, and then I sit here how I am now, very just sitting here, not moving around. But if I stop thinking what it is, just get back. I'll get to the pace of what this is such a horrible video to put out if I ever put this out. What it is, I do want to practice being in front of the camera for 5 minutes at a time because that's how I got used to the camera originally. And nowadays, when I sit down in front of the camera, I can't do 5 minutes. It's over 3 minutes now. I find things to talk about and get rambling and discussing things. And then I'm the type where I can't do things twice. I can't say put a bunch of thoughts and ideas down, say on paper or in a video, for myself, and then go back later and watch it and read it and be like, okay, I like this, I like that, I like that, and then put all those good bits together to make a proper video. I wish I could. I cannot. I don't have that ability. I can't learn a script and then come out and perform. I'm not an actor. I've got to do everything in one take, and it's not good for YouTube, for videos, for that kind of thing. But it works in the chat room, and it's so awkward because you're not gonna. I don't think you are. I don't think you're gonna find YouTube channels where they're like, "Hey, check me out somewhere else." I'm, I'm not at my best on camera. Um the best way for me to convey myself is to be on moving film. That works better for me than like just using my voice or still photography. But having said that, or with that knowledge in mind, it's still not where I'm at my best. You've seen where I'm at my best. I'm at my best in the chat room, and I am looking down a lot. It's still too bright for me in here. That's a me thing, not a you thing. Uh, Eyes are still healing. And yeah, I'm normally not this nervous in front of the camera. I'm thinking about it too much, so I've got to what it is. I don't know how I come off. I don't know how I'm perceived by people in the chat room. So I don't know how to turn what you see in the chat room into a human person. I know that sounds weird. It's because I'm at my best in the chat room. Everything's stripped away. It's just imagination. That's where I can be myself the most anywhere. And then when you bring real life into it, like now that's you're complicating things and you're adding physical stuff, and it's just um not a factor in the chat room. It doesn't even come up. Nobody knows what anybody looks like or sounds like, how tall anybody is, anything like that. We start out as just a screen name. We're just words on a screen. We're just the way we type, the, the words we use, the punctuation, all that. That's all we are. And that's how we start out. That's not all we are. That's just how we start out. And then we get to know each other. We find out we're real people, we're real human beings. Um, I'm not good at the real human being part. I'm best in the chat room. So it's very awkward too. Like I wish I could take what whatever people think of me. I don't know what people think of me. I don't know that. I don't know. I've never known that. But I wish I could take whatever the good things people think about me from the chat room and turn that into a person and put that person on camera for people. Like I wish I was an actor. That I wish I could be that personality, be that thing, whatever people want me to be. Just not that I'm not a human with like, thoughts and emotions or things, but just as far as the chat room goes, I don't have a big head about myself in that place at all. Um, Everything just boils down to something else. I won't start into here, but whatever people think of me as, like the good things, like I wish I knew what that was and could convey it into a personality to put on camera, just for the uh, purpose of I hate to sound cheap, but to make money from it, just because it's modern times. We've all got to earn a living. It's not that, and I don't want to cheapen the experience by that. I don't do anything I do with the thought of making a profit. And I know what I did just say, but I am saying this right now. As of very recently, I'm not in it for the money. It's more about just getting out what I do want to say and what has happened over the years than getting anything back at all. I'm glad if people do see it and the videos that I make, they're like, "Hey, I remember that. That was cool. Oh, that happened. Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome." Like that's cool if that happens. But if nothing happens, if nobody sees anything, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I'm going into everything with no expectations. So if I get anything back, it's just gravy. I I put out a video. I got 5 likes, and so, like I'm like, okay, I made it. Like send me my YouTube plaque. I've got my I did notice at the time of back when this was recently. This is all very recent. I had 69 subscribers, so nice. But that was so cool. Like, okay, that's it. That if all I can do is reach 69 people and get 5 likes, then that's the same. That's as big to me as the show having 100,000 subscribers, because I don't have the ability to put on the kind of production that the show has. I realize that. I see what you're seeing. I see the screen. I watch these back. So I know my lane. I get that. I just want to it's so hard. I don't want to disillusion anybody. That's the worst thing about I for a few years now, within the last like, 2 or 3 years, I've had the thought that it would be nice to have stories, the experiences from the chat room just somewhere, like typed, just anywhere, videos anywhere, just so it's not lost. And it's just, life's happening. It's just too busy, put it off. There's never a reason to. And honestly, what everything just all boils down to is that as far as me starting videos now and it being so awkward in front of the camera, still, it's just, I know that I'm never going to forgive myself for this. But I know that, we all do this. We all have an image in our head of what somebody looks like when we just talk to them on camera. And since this has been going on for 11 minutes, I do need to take a drink of water. I do apologize for this. I'm doing the thing I said I wouldn't. So we'll just make these long practice videos that I might release in the future. It's just I don't feel the need to hold back, which is why I'm like, yeah, this might all come out. It's not nobody's nude. It's not that embarrassing, so it's not that big a deal. And I'm at an age where I'm just you get to you start getting older. You stop caring about little things like that. Just like just let it fly. But getting back to what I was saying, where we all start out as words on a screen. We're just kind of blank canvases in a way when we first meet each other. And I know that, over the course of years of, it's just my personal personality in the chat room. And people like to see that. And I don't know how to like the person that I am in the chat room is like one of the truest forms of myself. And I can't, that does not translate into a physical nature. And I am cognizant of that. And because I know that, it makes me self-conscious about being on film. It's not that I'm self-conscious about my looks. It's more that I could look like anything at all. Anything at all. Any size, any shape, any color, any age. And it's still gonna disillusion people. Like whatever you're thinking I look like in your head, it's not gonna be the way I really look. And just the pure fact that I'm killing that what people had in their imagination of me. I'm never going to get over that. Like, no matter what happens, if nobody sees these, if everybody sees these, if this channel is not successful, if is successful and gives me everything I do want, no matter what, I'm always going to feel bad about, like, I wish I looked the way I look in everyone's imagination. Like, if people could, like, put in the comments, like, what like the image they had of me in their head, like before I called into the show, before I put out videos. I'd like to note that, just because over the years I have had people say, like people have thought I was English, or a Leo, or that I had is it called sandy blonde hair? Like with some girls, like she showed me a picture. It's like when girls, like, they got the long hair and it's got like the dark brown blonde in it. Like she said, I sounded like I have that kind of hair. Uh, People have thought I'm a guy, which is fine. The way I tell jokes and things like that, I never have. I've never even considered this, but I never let gender get in the way of a good joke. If something is funny, y'all use it. It doesn't matter whose mouth it came out of. If it gets a laugh, if I like it, I'll use it. So there's no, so people have thought oh, pardon me a second. You know, and it's all fine. I don't go into the chat room thinking I want people to think this one exact thing of me. No, you can think anything because I don't stick to one. I'm very, there is like lore to the chat room that I'm faithful to. I'll put that out there, and then there's also the truth. So there's it, and I use them both. You know, I will be brutally honest. I will tell people things straight up, and then I'm also saying things that are like incredibly silly or just sexy or just just wild stuff like that. And I'm like this because, or I say that because what I'll do when I've always done this, and I think I know why. I'll get into this into another video. But what I do is when I read comments, that's what I do. I read the comment first, and then I read the screen name. That's why it was so hard being at the Timcast. If you were there for that, because there I was reading the comment first, then the screen name, and then I had to think about doing it the other way, and I was just so. But that I'll talk about that later in another video. But I do read the comment first and then the screen name because doing that for so long with so few people, now so many people, I can read a comment and think, I think so and so said that. That's like something they would say. And then I read the screen and I'm like, yep, that's exactly, yep, I knew they said that. I knew they said that because you can just tell by the way people type and how they like the timing their responses. And you guess you get used to the flow of how people react. So there's that. But yeah, how do I take everyone's imagination and turn that into one thing? I can't do that. So now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I can't. I did lose my train of thought earlier. That happens. This is why the chat room works. Everything's written down in front of me. I don't have to remember anything. No good in real life. But yeah, so rather than get hung up about what's everybody gonna think of me, that kind of a thing, like I could sit here and get like super paranoid about it, and then that would just crush me into not releasing anything at all. I'm not gonna do that. That's not the point. I've done too much and made too many decisions and pushed myself out the stage too much to back down now. So this is it is a it is a thing that's gonna happen. Like the ball's already rolling. Yeah, I'm already in there. You're just gonna have to lay back and take it. And again, as much as I want to come off as some kind of big YouTube personality, kind of a thing, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of energy. I'm not that kind of person. And if if there's anything about the chat room that people should know, people should do, this is people should just do this in real life anyway. It's just to be yourself. Just don't put on airs. Don't try to be something you're not. I've never done that. The people who are OG fans of the show, they are that because they did show up regularly and they were themselves. They had their opinion, whether or not everybody agreed. That was okay. We did have arguments and discussions like that where back in the day. But that's it. You just be yourself. Just use your just I'm stuttering. Just nothing but personality and imagination because that's all you can have in the chat room. Really, we can't see each other for good or for bad, and just lead with that. So I since I'm not gonna get hung up on trying to. You can't please all the people all the time anyway. I know that. So all rather than let any anxiety or fear crush you down, just have to just push it away and go through with it. And this video might be so annoying. I know I'm looking down so much at her. Like I want to talk, but I don't want to. Uh, and my eyes just hurt so much. They're healing. They're healing. It's I'm on top of it. And this, but yeah, it's just can't keep my thoughts together today. It's the 13th. Well, blame it on that. But yeah, just you have to. But after being in the chat room, being myself for 9 years, I can't sit in front of a camera and be fake. So I've got to just be myself, whether as beautiful or ugly as that is. Just have to do it. That's all any of us can do. And again, this is really just to. I don't want all of the experiences from the chat room over the years to be lost. And this is going to get this all out there because it's the time for it. And I do need to start filming later in the day just because when it's I don't know how many hours this lasts, but I get up and then like my face is puffy. Like I got up at 7 and it's noon now. Like what? I don't know. It just does that. So and it just too I don't know what the light will be like later on, but I know these are so that this is just practice. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff that I can't use in videos. I might put it out. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't see the reason to hold back. But then I know I'm gonna put out videos and they're gonna be like, this chick puts out every single thing she films. Hold something back, lady. Damn. But I do. I'm always holding back. That's the problem. But it's the time to not hold back as much now. And I know this is at 21 and a half minutes. I'll stop this at 25 just because I've explained. I say so much in videos and then I'd say so much in the chat room and then I get on camera and I'm like, well, I've already said this. I've explained that. And I can't keep it all straight in my head. So that's why I will be releasing these rambling videos because I can't remember everything I said. I'm not going to sit there and rewatch all of my videos. I'm not going to take notes on everything I said. I'm just one person. I don't have a crew. There's no production, clearly. This is not a channel that's funded by anyone or anything. This is just me talking in front of my laptop. It's the same visual thrill you would get from a Discord video chat like we used to do back in the day, or Gilded. I personally haven't used it for video chat yet, but it is new, and by new, I believe we got on there in May of 2022, so it's been just under 2 years. So in this world, in the frankly verse that's new. That's 2 years. That's relatively new. So and it's just not the same folks around, same vibe. So it hasn't been used the way Discord was, but I'm getting into things that should be in a proper video. And then I did, um, again, I'm just thinking about other things I've said. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to start just uploading practice videos that have good information in them or something. I know I say I don't know a lot. It's because everything that does happen just falls into place right before it's supposed to happen. And until then, I just don't know things. And then it's like, oh, okay, epiphany. And then like I figure it out. So it's always like, it's like that with me. It always has been. I don't like it. I wish I could plan ahead. I cannot do that anymore. So it's just, it comes, it just pours out when it pours out and I can't refilm it. I can't do a retake. I can't take the same energy and say the same thing again. Again, I'm not an actor. I just have to just let it come out when it happens. And so that's why again, it's like I would like everything to be pretty and polished and me not stuttering over my words and be able to look at the camera and not look sleepy. It's not going to be that. It's never going to be that. And if I get hung up on why it's never going to be that, then nothing will ever come out. Then you just get into this spiral and it's still good. So having said all that, rambled for so long, I think I really am going to put out just the stuff just because I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. I shouldn't say it, but I'm a human like everybody, most other people. And it's embarrassing to say that, but it shouldn't be. It's so weird. There's a huge disconnect between me in my room by myself, just talking on the show, and everyone else and the whole world and their whole lives. And I haven't made that connection yet, but I will. I will. it just hasn't happened yet. And that's why everything's so awkward. And then this is at 25 minutes now. And this is very rambly. I've done better practice videos. It's I hope the hair was okay. Um, I've made more sense before. This is not me at my best. Again, it's, like I'm saying, you're never going to get the experience in the chat room here. We're not typing at each other. If you want to see me at my best, go to Quite Frankly, go there, subscribe, support the show, do all of that stuff. Like this video, of course. If you're subscribed, make sure notifications are on, especially for, Quite Frankly, make sure the notifications stay on for that because that's going to upload more regularly. And I have decided that when I do upload, it will be on the weekend just because I don't want to interfere in any way with the show. Because, yeah, I could upload in the middle of the week and have people talk about my videos in the chat room. I do not want to have my videos interrupting the chat room. That's not what I'm about. So I want to keep those two things separate. So when I do upload, like right now, I'm thinking Sundays. Not every, but if I do, it would be then. Just to keep things separate. I don't know what time Frank goes live for his Sunday streams. That is one hang up I do have. So I'm not I don't know what time that happens. I don't know if it's at a regular time. I don't know if it's random. So I don't know how my uploads will um intermingle with that. Not saying my channel's on the same level as Frank. I'm just saying that this is when it's a good time to put out videos for this channel uh, going forward. And let's make this not go on for 30 minutes. So I will end this here, watch this back, and I'm starting to get really excited about getting the first videos out and telling everybody about what's going to happen. And I will end this now and see you next time.